Now, most traders think that they are failing these prop firms, blowing accounts, not getting payouts purely based on their strategy. That's not the case. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why that is and what you can do in the areas that you need to look for to get to those evals, to pass those accounts, and ultimately get payouts. Now, I've been doing this for a very, very long time now. I've done my personal account and I've done my prop firm accounts. And in this video, actually, probably some people might say, oh, that's a little bit of a shock, because trading your personal account and trading your prop firms, completely different. Not strategy-wise or anything like that, but fundamentally very, very different. And I actually believe, and I was thinking about this over the weekend, that maybe everybody is trading prop firms the wrong way. They're gamified. They have so many different things in the way that are going to subconsciously get in the way and cause you to be an impulsive trader. Now, most of the online education things that you see across the board, they're going to treat everything the same, all right? Because everybody treats things the same way. They never really come outside the box and try and be contrarian and start thinking in a very different way. And I believe that that's why 95% of people fail in this industry, because they're doing what 95% of other people are actually doing. And they're not looking at it from a completely different angle. Now, there's three things that I think actually determine whether you're going to make it in prop firms, whether you're going to be consistent in prop firms, or whether you're just not going to make it and maybe you are just set for a personal account. Now, when I mean that, what I mean by that is on a personal account, there's no real set rules. You have a very, very low risk when you go into trades. You're risking 1 or 2% as you're told across the board, only risk 1 or 2%. And you can slowly take your time. Prop firms are very, very different. And I actually think now that after trading for so long and coaching people and mentoring people, that you have to be a little bit more aggressive. And because of the rules, because of the gamified platforms, it causes you to trade in a very, very different way as if you was trading in your personal account. Now, what I've noticed in my trading, I get to pay out, get big payouts, pass evals, XFAs, all these types of things a lot better and quickly when I'm going more aggressive, when I'm doing more size, when I'm not marrying that account, when it's not the be all and end all, or I've not put that account on a pedestal. Now, this is going to be very, very different for each trader that is watching this video. And it all depends on the three things that I'm going to discuss right now. Okay. Very, very important. Now, the three things, again, they are actually, in my personal opinion, things that people do not look at. Now, number one, I want to get a notepad, get a piece of paper, do whatever you can. Number one is going to be, I've got an itchy nose at the moment. Sorry, people. What trading level are you at? Now, I don't hear a lot of people speak about this. They just brush it under the carpet like, oh, he's brand new, or he's inexperienced, or he might not have a strategy. But what actual trading level are you at? That's the first thing that's going to determine, for me, your prop firm success. That's the first thing. Are you going to be able to trade successfully in a prop firm success? Now, I'm not about your confidence. I'm not about how good your strategy looks on charts or anything like that. The real honest level of where are you at on your trading level from 1 to 10. 1 being completely brand new, 5 maybe being average, getting some payouts but no consistency, and 10 you've mastered it, which I highly doubt anybody's at a 10. I don't think no one will ever be at a 10. So here's the thing that most don't want to hear. And many of you watching this might be, and we'll know by the comments because sometimes people get triggered, all right? Prop firms don't really develop you much as an actual proper trader for your personal account. That's just my opinion, all right? Many people will look at it and very different. And they will look at it that as a broad comment and say, well, of course you must improve as a trader. Yes, you do improve as a trader, all right? You do improve, but development-wise, in relation to all areas of trading, I actually disagree, and I don't think that it develops you in the most important areas. It gives you a good strategy to practice for cheap, and it gives you a way to make money out of the market. But on the long term, trading your personal account, I do believe that habits from prop firms are going to be very, very damaging for a personal account. But let's just keep on that comment right now. What they do is they elevate you. You see, there's a big difference between whether they develop you or whether they elevate you. All right. Now you might say, well, developing is elevating. It's very, very different. It's very, very different. The challenge here is it's not really teaching you anything when you're going into the charts. You're still having to teach yourself, all right? And you're still having to pay money for that. That's the key. This is where you're going to find out what level you are at. If you can't take payouts at the moment, or you can't pass prop firms at the moment, you are not at a level. And how are you going to develop on an emotional level, on a trading level, if you just keep doing the same thing on prop firms and prop firms and prop firms? Now, prop firms are not there. People disguise them, and I used to think this. It's a great way to practice. It's a great way to lose money, but actually it just creates a lot of bad habits if you don't have a proven strategy or you've been consistent for a period of time. That's the first thing you should do. So what level are you at? You see, I see traders taking challenge after challenge, losing fee every time. And they think the problem is that it's just the rules, or it's the prop firm rules. That's what they actually think. Oh, it's just bad luck, or I'm on a few bad win sequence, or whatever it may be. Or it's the market. I mean, that's the worst thing. It's the market. The market is just a mirror of you. That's what the market is. Like, life is a mirror of you, and the market is no different. It's just showing you what you are. If you go on a crazy week or a crazy month or a crazy day, it will reflect in the charts. If you go on a conservative, sensible way, it will reflect on the charts, all right? That's what people don't really want to hear. They really, really don't want to hear. And there will be some people arguing that where they don't understand the difference between development and elevate. And I don't want to become, what's the word that I'm looking for? Can't even remember what the word is. But I don't want to come across as being rude or ego or pretentious or anything like that. But just think about what I mean when I say that, all right? A prop firm challenge doesn't test your strategy. It tests whether your strategy is actually yours, or is it just something that you're memorizing? Now, that's a deeper thing, what I'm saying, because you have to memorize a strategy. But that's not the case, because the environment's going to be different. Memorizing does not mean it's going to work in every environment, all right? There's a big difference between a trader who understands price action, what's going on actually on the charts, and a trader who executes price action under pressure. And that's what a prop firm is. A prop firm is putting you under pressure at times. And the execution between under pressure and the execution by just looking at price action on your personal account are two very, very different things. And the real consequences, day after day, day after day, is the challenge actually is going to collapse that gap immediately between the personal account and the prop firm account. All right? That's the big difference. So before you take another challenge, this is number one still, be honest with yourself. Are you generally profitable? Are you genuinely profitable on a demo account for 60 to 90 days? Not one good week or one good month or one good payout. Are you genuinely a consistent, profitable trader? And if the answer is no, then I actually believe that these challenges are the wrong step. Now, if you have a basic strategy and you kind of know what you're doing, and you kind of damage yourself because you go on tilt, that is very, very different from if you don't really know what you're doing. And there is many, many people that have no idea what they're doing, and they just keep going on prop firms and prop firms and prop firms and prop firms and prop firms. So whether you think it's going to be more screen time or whatever it may be, you need to go away and work on that. So what level are you at the moment? And the prop firm makes that impossible for you to hide. That's number one. Number two, all right, and this might be uncomfortable for some people, financial stability. Where are you when it comes to financial stability? Now, this is what people are not going to speak about. And you know why people don't ask you or talk to you about the financial stability? It's because it does not sell well. If I'm trying to sell something and I have a service, but most people with how they sell something is not the correct way. They don't want to sound that it's hard. They want you to think that it's going to be very, very easy. That's what they want you to think, because that's how people buy things. Impulsive, convenient, easy. I don't have to do a lot of work. That's not going to happen in trading. If it feels too easy, if it feels impulsive, it's not the way forward. It takes work. It takes time. Now, your financial stability is a direct correlation of how you're going to be on the charts. If you have financial stress, if you have bills to pay, a family to look after, a roof to keep over your head, pressures at home, pressures from the wife, pressures from whoever your partner is, okay? Girlfriend, some of you may even be your mistress. I don't know wherever you're getting your pressure from. But if that pressure is correlated with your income and income uncertainty, your prop firm trading is going to suffer because you see that as a get out. You see that as a thing that's going to make it all different. It just makes it harder. I've been there myself. In all areas, I've been there myself, and you will suffer. You will suffer. And I tell this to everybody that I work with, you will suffer. You see, this is why. This is why. When you need a payout, you start making decisions based on what you need. All right? And the market is unforgiving. When you go down the route of, I need this, I want this, the market is unforgiving. Bang. You will get smashed to bits. You widen your targets. You don't want to take financial losses. You hold losers for too long that you should. You put an extra contract on. I mean, you even go to a mini with only a $500 drawdown. You overtrade on slow days. You trade on news days. Your account just keeps getting the piranha style, where it's not one piranha that's going to cause the damage. But if you've ever, well, most of you and none of us hopefully have never been in with piranhas, it's not the one that does the damage. It's consistent, many small bites. And that's a piranha damage, all right? You're no longer trading the charts. You're trading your bank balance. You're trading your emotions. You're trading your impulses, your wants. The market doesn't care whether your rent is due. The market doesn't care whether your car payment is due. It doesn't care. At that moment in time, that trade is going to be a loss if you are trading off the wrong emotional frequency, status, energy, whatever you want to call it. I've watched generally good traders, and this happens to me and still has happened to me, blow funded account after funded account after funded account after funded account. All right. And it's always the same thing when I sit down. How is things in the background? Well, I've got a bit of pressure in the background. Work's not doing that good. I'm leaving work. I've only got 3 or 4 months money. I fell out with someone. I fell out with my partner. I'm going through a divorce. My friend, there's a lot of things going on. And you must understand that that is the time for you to take a step back. Financial pressure will absolutely ruin you if you're trying to trade. I've been there. I've tried to trade from being broke. It does not work, all right? It will corrupt every decision that you make, every decision. And prop firm requires emotional neutrality, all right? That's what it requires from you. You need to be neutral. In your personal account, you're going to be very, very different. Very, very different. You know you're not going to trade that when you're financially all over the place. It's very, very different. So think about that, all right? It's almost impossible to access like your brain in the right way when you're being backed into the corner on a financial problem. This doesn't mean that you need to be rich or anything like that to do prop firms. It just means that you need things to cover the bills while you're practicing along the way. All right. It's very, very important that you do that. Trading income is the goal, but it takes time, and it might not be the current situation that you are in. All right. But you must separate them on a psychological factor because it's going to weigh too heavy on you. It really, really is going to weigh too heavy. So if this is you, please, please, please stop saying I'm going to be all right and I can deal with this. Be honest with yourself. Because the solution isn't about another challenge. The solution isn't about trying to trade 20 prop firm accounts if you don't know what you're doing. And I do believe we need to copy trade to get the best out of prop firms. I do believe that. But you shouldn't be doing that at this moment in time if you're struggling. All right? Build some financial breathing room. All right? Very, very important. Now, if you're watching this and you kind of recognize certain things, and this is kind of making some good points towards the way that you are in your trading journey, okay? This is what I do. I help traders. I work with them through a one-on-one basis, get them to where we need to get to on our mentorship. It's not strategy all stuff. It's not, the mundane stuff. It's the real stuff. It's how you can implement a basic, simple strategy to obviously control your psychology, all those types of things. And if you've already got that, how you can operate your psychology that's going to give you consistent training. Links in description, do all that stuff. Let's jump on a call, have a conversation about that. Let's see if we're a good fit for you and you're a good fit for us. Now, let me move on to number 3, okay? Number 3 for me is key, self-awareness and development level. Where are you on your self-development and development level? If you've not gone down a self-development level, whether that's through experience, pain, reading, meditation, breath work, continuously working out, had to fail so many times and pick yourself back up, where do you believe that you're going to get that energy, that relentlessness from for you to become a better trader? Because it requires a high level and many hours and years of self-development. So where are you on a self-development level? Are you still immature? Do you still respond to immature stuff? Are you still involved in all the social media world and you can't really detach yourself? Are you lazy? Do you decide that I'm either going to watch Netflix or work out or hit a Domino's rather than a salad? Where are you? Everything's in moderation. I still do those things. But where are you? Because that's a very, very important thing. This one is going to separate the real trader from the not so real trader. And eventually, those who don't do it, this is not going to work out for them. If you're self-awareness and you're generally committed to self-development, trading will work for you. But you must be genuinely committed to what you're trying to do. Not watching videos and consuming loads of content, and actual development, which, by the way, is action. That is development. Development is action. We get a piece of information and we go and take action. We don't need to read all these books. We could probably read 3 books in our whole life, take action on those 3 books, and our life would change. All right? So action. Knowing what your real weaknesses are, knowing what your strengths are, having a structured way to address the pros and the cons, and being honest with yourself to look in the mirror and say, where am I at this moment in time of my self-development? Am I making excuses or am I taking action? That's the rarest quality that I see in traders. I work with some unbelievable people, and I love my community. They give me so much purpose. I'm friends with them. And the ones that I see do well, they are committed to self-development. They are committed to becoming better. Now, we're all subject to vulnerabilities and vices. We're never going to be perfect. I think perfect, if there is such a thing, would actually be very, very boring. But being self-aware of the things that we need to do, the things that we shouldn't do, and even when we do things that we shouldn't do, we're still self-aware of them, but we've made that decision. That is still self-aware. Okay, they are the ones in my community and the people that I've worked with over the last 3 years that do well, and they're still here, and they will become good traders and, more importantly, unbelievable people. So if you ask a trader, why did you fail a challenge, and they give you some external answer, they're not on a self-development journey. It's an internal answer. That's the thing that you should be looking for, an internal answer. It's not, the market was choppy, it was Trump's fault. And sometimes it is, but that's not the case. You got to sit down with yourself and say, what did I do? Did I stay within my rules? Did I not stay within my rules? What did I do? Why did I revenge trade? Why did I put too much on the side? That is a self-development that you have to do. Okay. It's very, very important. So the trader who can see themselves clearly in real time is present in with the universe and all those types of things, mid-trade, mid-session, before the trade, after the trade. That's the trader that survives. That's the trader that's going to make something of their life. Now, prop firm exposes this immediately. Because prop firms put restraints on you. And this is why it's very, very different from your personal account. Daily drawdowns, consistency rules, targets, buffers before you can get payouts. All these, some of them still have time limits. All these constraints make you behave in a certain way. And that's why you have to trade in a different way. You have to be more aggressive, I believe. You don't want to stay in there and marry that prop firm for too long. Okay? You have to behave in a very, very different way. I see traders develop the fastest, the ones that are aware of these 3 things. They can identify their mistakes in real time. It's not 2 days later or 3 days later. They can sit with the discomfort of having a bad session and losing. Nobody likes losing. I hate losing. Okay. I hate it, but that is something that even I'm working on. And these are things that you need to be looking at. And also actively seeking feedback. I push in the community that if you need feedback, if you need help, please reach out. This is a lonely journey if you're trying to do it on your own. It really, really is. And then after those calls, after those feedback, traders get a little bit more confident and then they can obviously jump back on the saddle and do what they need to do. So if you are genuinely committed to your own development, my friends, and not just a technical development and tell your friends you're a trader and live off this dream, but you are psychologically looking to develop, prop firms become a very, very good framework that works for you. If you're not, they become very expensive way for you to keep repeating mistake after mistake after mistake. All right. So those things, your trading level, your financial stability, and your self-awareness and development, they're the three things and the three areas that I think you need to be looking at. Not just your strategy, not just an entry, not some fancy words with blah, 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 blah. No one cares about those things. People care about, can you make money on a consistent basis? All right. And prop firms are good for that. And that's why you have to trade them in a very, very different way than you would do your personal. So if you need any help with that, there's a link below. Go and jump in, book a call with myself, see if we can help you out, and see you on the next one.